They're dogs all sitting in a row.
That does look like it came from Google.
My favorite answer was Chewbacca. I probably would have guessed it too if I saw the fur. There was two other people in another class that guessed Chewbacca. There was some other funny ones too. Who was the one hung up on the pink hair? Someone was. There was someone who got.
Literally all three of these have like a little bit.
Yeah,
of
I saw pink hair.
I saw your pieces and I was like, yeah, he's in trouble. Yeah. So, what's the point of that? What was the reason for me doing that? I'm trying to relate it back to history. Okay. Did you guys find the titles and the authors of your books?
Yes.
All right. What's your title and what's your author?
Traditions and Encounters, Jerry H. Bentley and Herbert F. Ziegler.
Okay. What about you?
World of History for Dummies, Peter Home.
Yeah, I think that book was written specifically for me. What's that one?
I have no
What's the title?
clue. It is The Ways of the World.
Okay. And then I know that one because that's our AP text. That's Strayer. Right there. It should be on the bottom right of the top of your cover,
Oh.
I think. What about you?
World History 9th edition with William J. Duker and Jackson de Spleenvolder.
Yeah, those names are literally impossible. No one's been able to, somebody said whatchamacallit for a different class. Did I give you one?
Yeah, World History Connections to Today, and it's like Elizabeth Gaynor Ellis and Anthony Esley.
Yep. Gainer Ellis.
Culture and Values, the Survey of the Humanities, and Lawrence Cunningham and John Breach.
Yep. So, what I'm trying to say is, all of those are world history textbooks, okay? Which is funny because none of them have the same name, none of them were written by the same people, but I think we have this idea in our head that we assume that, all right, it says history, all right, it's our history, must be, right? But what I'm trying to say is, and I'm not going to be trashing on the teachers you've had in the past for history, because I'm sure all of them knew more stuff and were better teachers than me, but I think the content of your course should have been renamed to American World History, okay? Everyone had different puzzle pieces, okay? Everyone had a different piece of our history, but when you guys guessed of the overall picture, all of them were different. Nobody specifically said 4 dogs sitting in a row. All right, we had dog walking on the ocean, I think was yours, right? Was yours. So everyone has, did I give candy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, candy for a half second. I'd be pissed if I missed out on candy. Everyone had different puzzle pieces, and everybody guessed a different thing, okay? What's your name? New York City.
Gracie.
Gracie. So what's a vacuum cleaner?
It sucks up dirt and stuff.
Okay. What's your name?
Kaylee.
Kaylee? Yeah, you didn't want to always pronounce wrong. What's a vacuum cleaner? Explain it to me.
Picks up the dirt.
Picks up dirt? What's a vacuum cleaner?
It sucks up all the like lint and crap on it.
Okay. Explain to me what a vacuum cleaner is, but you're a maid. Now explain to me what a vacuum cleaner is. Things you clean with? Okay. What's a vacuum cleaner?
It's a tool to make cleaning dirt easier.
Okay. Yeah. Explain to me what a vacuum cleaner is, but from the viewpoint of a child.
Something you're scared of, probably.
Okay.
A machine that makes loud noise.
That makes loud noise.
A loud machine that is supposed to clean stuff.
Okay. Explain to me what a vacuum cleaner is, but from the viewpoint of a dog or a cat. I don't know if you're a dog or a cat person.
Or a loud machine that's a primitive box of metal.
A loud machine,
Scary machine.
scary machine. My dog hates vacuums. Like
Torture machine.
she straight up like might be a psychopath. I was scaring her the day before, like just going at her. She was barking. We went to bed. She knows how to open doors. She opened the door to our closet, which is a turn knob. Took the vacuum cleaner out and ripped every hose and tube out of the vacuum while we were sleeping. Like that is just. I was like, okay, I'm not sleeping with you anymore. So everybody has a different viewpoint, right? A maid is gonna explain a vacuum cleaner a little bit different than a child, or a son or a daughter, or a mom or a dad. And a dog or a cat's definitely gonna explain a vacuum cleaner different. Do we have any people who really like history in here? Explain to me World War II in 2 sentences or less.
Allied powers and Axis powers.
Ooh, that's the best answer I've gotten so far. What about you?
I was mainly just, first thing I thought of was Pearl Harbor, because that's what I did in the project, and it's great
No,
stuff.
yeah, that's good. Yeah. Someone raise their hand up here. Right? Do we have a volunteer?
Well, basically America, Britain, and Russia took on Germany and Japan
Yeah.
and Italy, and the Axis powers were trying to basically conquer the world.
Usually I could have you just teach my class for me. I'll just sit at my desk and take a nap. Yeah, that's great. White Hollister, what's your name?
How you want me to explain?
No, I want your name first.
Oh, Aiden.
Aiden. Okay. Now, Aiden, you're no longer Aiden. You're Adolf Hitler. Okay? Hi. Nice to meet you.
I just shaved my mustache.
What was World War II? Give it to me in 2 sentences, Adolf.
I don't know how the German Nazis.
It's fine. You can just explain it to me.
Nazis ruled the world.
What'd you say?
Nazis ruled the world.
Okay. What's World War II from Adolf Hitler's perspective? Even just 1 sentence. That's fair. Can someone help her out? Someone else want to try? Give it a whack? Yeah.
Putting Jews in concentration camps.
Okay. Yeah.
German superior race.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Okay. What am I trying to say here? Where'd my book go? Because I keep fidgeting with it. This is the book we use for AP History. Your book is still coming along the way. It's pretty close to the one. Selena.
Yeah.
Ah. God, I'm getting good. I got 1. Okay. What I'm trying to say. When I'm teaching history, we're using books, we're using textbooks, you're researching online, even when you're not even in history class. Okay? You gotta make sure when you look at this book, you realize in your head, Strayer might be a dog. Okay? Strayer might be a maid. Strayer might have just canoed 9 hours before he ate a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Did I tell you that story?
No.
Did that just make no sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this is where I need to insert an apology. I teach this class 4 times, and they're all back to back. So I go 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, all world history. So if I say something to you guys that's makes no sense, or if I say something to you guys and I already said it, I really apologize, because every day blends in and I just totally forget. So, what I was trying to say is, my favorite meal I've ever eaten in my life was a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That's if you ever ask me the best tasting food I've ever had, it was a grape and peanut butter jelly sandwich on white bread. But the reason it tasted so good was because I just canoed for 9 hours straight with my dad. Alright? My dad's not the most athletic guy. Felt like I was doing all the work, whatever. My arms were jelly. No pun intended. And we had just canoed, alright? One of our canoes had sunk, we lost half our supplies, it was a crazy long day, it rained the whole time. We get there, all the bread falls on the ground, can't start a fire, we're like, alright, we're using the bread for peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And when I ate it, it was like a chorus of angels went off in my head. It was the best food I've ever had, nothing's compared to that. But if I walked up to you on the street, you said, hi, nice to meet you, I was like, yeah, my name's Mr. K, you're like, oh, what's your favorite food you've ever had? Peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You'd look at me like I'm crazy. Alright? If I said my favorite food is Arby's, which it is, you'd probably still look at me like I'm crazy. But that's what it is. You need context for everything. So, you don't know how long he's been canoeing. You don't know if he's a dog trying to explain a vacuum. You don't know if he's a maid trying to explain a vacuum. So what I'm trying to say is historical events, if you're thinking of them like vacuum cleaners, because that makes sense, then you gotta realize everyone's different, all right? Some people are dogs, some people are maids, some people are kids, all right? Some people own the vacuums and are trying to sell them, so that's gonna sound a lot different too, all right? You gotta realize that everything is spun from their background. And that just relates to you guys as well. I mean, being Christians in and of yourself, everything that's happened to you in the past results in actions that you're gonna take today, okay? If you're a child and you walk up and you grab a boiling pot of water and it burns you, do you think you're gonna go back and do that again? Or if you're jumping on the top of a bunk bed and you slip and fall off and break your arm, do you think you're gonna jump on the top of the bunk bed anytime soon? If what's your name? If every single morning I walked up to Brody and slapped him in the face, do you think he's gonna sit there and take it, or do you think he's gonna duck? You gonna duck or you gonna take it? We're gonna test it? No, I'm kidding. Everything that happens to you affects how you are in the future. Alright? If I skip breakfast in the morning and I skip lunch in the afternoon and I'm just in pain by the end of the day, you think I'm gonna do that again? You're gonna take every event that's ever happened to you, and it's everything. I'm a huge preacher of the butterfly effect. Do you guys know what the butterfly effect is?
Yes.
What's the butterfly effect? You were the first one to nod.
Well, I don't think I could explain it that well. I think someone else could.
Butterfly effect.
Something small you can do to lead to something much bigger. So if you didn't go to a store one day, you would have never met your best friend or your wife or something like that.
Yeah, I love it. And when you think about it, it's just wild. And it has huge implications for the actions that you take, and the way you live your life. Basically, the butterfly effect is that anything that you do could potentially have catastrophic or beneficial things that happen to you in your life. Let's say I take this chair and I shove it across the room. Because I did that, now my car tire isn't gonna pop. It's just crazy things like that where little things that you do in your life are gonna have impacts. You saw me push this chair, now you think I have big muscles, now you're gonna go and tell another teacher that Mr. K is jacked, and now a rumor's gonna spread around the school that Mr. K has huge muscles, which obviously is not true, but just for the sake of the argument, is what we're saying. Everything is what it is. Butterfly effect, whether you believe it or not, is still in existence today for the fact that anything that happens to you in the past will dictate your future outcomes. That's why history is so awesome for me, is because it's so important. Everything we are, everything we've ever done is history, and history influences us all the way through. All right, is there any questions on that? Am I sounding super clear as mud? I'm sure you guys are all kind of confused. I don't want you guys, this is like my whole belief on why I'm passionate about history, so I'm trying to convey that to you guys, and I don't want to be confusing. Okay? I want you guys to see the importance of history, all right, but also the importance of being knowledgeable about the importance of history, which sounds super weird, all right? I took a class on the importance of history. It was weird, but I did it, all right? So, I'm trying to get off the importance of history and the importance of us being knowledgeable. So my goal in this class is to give you that knowledge so you can understand that. When you're reading an article, you might be reading a cat's article about a vacuum or a dog's article about a vacuum. With anything, news groups, okay? You can't tell me that news groups aren't political because they have backgrounds. So then when they report on things and they view things, they're gonna spin it in different light, right? If I don't eat breakfast in the morning, we go out and we have Subway sandwiches for lunch. Is there Subways out here?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen them before. We go out and have Subway sandwiches. I might come back and say, that Subway makes the best sandwiches in the world. All right? But let's say you just went to Mr. K's class, you won 5 games in a row, and I gave you 5 pieces of candy. Your stomach's upset. We go to a Subway. You want to throw up the whole time. You come back, someone says, how was that Subway? God, it wasn't good. I was sick the whole time. But that's not really a fair argument, right? Your stomach was upset, you stuffed your face with candy before, which I'm not condoning against, I do it all the time, whether I learn my lesson or not. History impacts everything we do in the future, okay? In this class, I'm trying to get you guys to see that. I could throw dates and names, facts, events at you, and make you memorize them until your eyes bleed, okay? And your brain hurts. But what will that do? All right, I can whip my phone out and say, hey Siri, who's the 4th president of the United States? Which I don't even know the answer to that. 4th president? Who memorizes
Who's
the
the
4th?
19 3/4 president?
Exactly. You have Siri for that. There's no point in history class being a names and dates thing anymore. Okay? That is the old way of history. The new way of history is the fact that you have so much information, so many different viewpoints, so many different ideas coming at you, you need to be able to now discern it. Okay? We don't need to have a tank full of information. We need to make you the correct filter so you can see things as they come through. Because it's not a trickle of a stream, it's the Niagara Falls times 5 of information that comes at you every day. Whether you just wake up in the morning, you open your phone to Twitter or TikTok or Facebook or Instagram, all of those are information coming at you with different viewpoints, different ideas, and you guys need to be able to filter that. So my hopeful goal this